boys and girls are not raised the same, and we're seeing the repercussions, especially in the contemporary world. There's discourse around the boy child supposedly being left behind as a result of overemphasis on empowering and equipping the girl child to succeed in the contemporary world. I feel this is a very linear way of looking at it because it's actually multifactorial. Especially in the Black community, the burden of parenthood is not evenly distributed, with mothers having to bear a greater burden of parenting both the boy child and the girl child, and fathers not playing the role that they need to play in order to equip and nurture and empower the boy child to succeed. A lot of older men are in this discourse talking about it's because women are neglecting raising their sons, women are not raising children the way that they used to back in the day. Women are not playing their roles because now it's battle of the sexes. Now we've lost a sense of who's doing what. And I feel this is more of trying to negate themselves of the responsibility and also trying to alleviate themselves of being held accountable, because a lot of older men or a lot of fathers have not been playing the role that they need to play in raising their sons. I don't think there's such a thing as over-empowering a marginalized group. You can never empower a marginalized group enough. However, we cannot deny that there hasn't been a concerted effort in society to really dissect and discuss how are we supposed to be raising boy children.
The boy child was left behind a long time ago. People are just saying now in 2026, no, the boy child is being left behind. What you see now, especially with the grade 12 results, is 12 years of accumulative negligence. 12 years. You do not just come and be a bad at matric in matric. It's years and years of reinforcement, bad behavior reinforcement, bad behaviors that were let slide, bad lessons, patriarchal lessons that are taught to these young men. And a majority of these men were not necessarily left behind. What we call the boy child being left behind is an unequal outcome because the girl child was just empowered. The same way you see women in the country buying more cars, buying more houses, graduating, is not because men are being oppressed, and that's what I need you to understand. And that's the narrative men are pushing, that men are being oppressed because of this and that. Maybe you can say they're being oppressed in the workplace, maybe because they're trying to equalize. But how would they equalize employment if women were not graduating? How would they equalize employment if women were not getting skills? So women were empowered a long time ago. That is when we lost the boy child.
I've been seeing the whole discourse surrounding the boy child being left behind, and I just wanted to give my 2 cents. I also want to speak on some people blaming the boy child for being in the position he's in, claiming that how can the boy child not succeed in a system he created? Don't know how a 10-year-old boy knows anything about patriarchy and systems, but anyway. I also see quite a few people celebrating the boy child being left behind as if this isn't a societal issue that will end up affecting all of us. So firstly, my main 2 reasons for the boy child being left behind is number 1, absent fathers, lack of positive male role models, in the young boy's life who can lead him in the right direction. You mix that with culture, which is drugs, partying, alcoholism, sleeping around, and it is a recipe for disaster. You know, even things such as forex, music, starting a rap career, and things of that nature.
I do not think the boy child is being left behind. I think the boy child is falling back. I think the boy child is simply standing still while everybody else is moving forward. And to illustrate my point, I think, is that back in high school, I think when I was in grade 10, 11, 12, there was this guy that sat behind me in geography. Not directly behind me. It was me, it was my friend right next to me, and then it was him directly behind her. And you know, when you get worksheets for school, to fill in the worksheets, you have to cut them out, put them in your book, but you also get you also have to write down notes. The worksheets do not supplement for notes. So I was the one, me by myself, until it was either me or my friend who would be doing the cutting and the pasting of his worksheets in his books, because for some reason he's come to school without any stationery, right? And, well, there is a reason. The reason will become apparent later. he's come to school without any stationery, and we are doing the cutting and pasting of his workbook, of the worksheets in his workbook. And while I'm cutting and pasting, I would notice there's no notes. There's no notes, right? And then come testing or exam season, there's another girl who sits in the front of his class. Me and him, my friend and I, we just do purely scientific classes. We were doing geography, biology, and physical science. He did not do biology and physical science. We only shared geography with him. But there was another girl who was in all his classes. And come testing and exam season, he would be using her notes. So if you're keeping the tally, it's 1, 2, 3 different girls now who are essentially pulling this dude along his academic path. Pulling him along while he's doing what at the back of the class, you may ask? He's on his iPad doing Forex. Sporadically interacting with the class so that it doesn't seem suspicious that he's just like sitting there in the back doing nothing. Now, I guarantee you that this is not an isolated incident. Other people are trying, and the reason why I know that this is not an isolated incident is because of the lady that meant to start this discussion of the boy child being left behind did point out that unlike the girl child, the boy child has like this unrealistic grasp of like his future and what it takes for him to reach the future that he wants. You know what I mean? The girl child would be like, oh, I want to do this, and in order for me to get to that point, I'm going to have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But the boy child is more like, has these like unrealistic goals of like, oh, I just want to be a millionaire. How? Doesn't matter. You know what I mean? And so it's like the boy child no longer has interest in running down this path, and we are out here dragging him along it because we know that there's no other one. We need to be asking ourselves, well, we know the why. We know why he's standing still in this path, but it's more of like addressing the why he's standing still rather than being like, people are leaving him behind. He's not being left behind. He's right where he wants to be.
Some say, Lilo, what are the solutions? I am a mom, I am a sister, I am a teacher, I'm a friend. I see this happening. My brother, my friend, my child, my son, all of these people that I'm close to, they are falling away at the system. What do we do? Guys, this is the time where we engage our ministers. This is the time where we engage policy. Unfortunately, the Minister of Basic Education has to be engaged in this matter. Do you see the statistics? What do you have to say? What are the recommendations? What are the studies? What are you implementing? We have to engage the Minister of Women and Children because we're talking about the boy child here. We're not talking about adult men. We're talking about children. Do you see this discrepancy? Do you see that the girl child is doing far superior than the boy child? What are the policies in place to address the situation? We have to engage these people. What are your plans for the townships? Because the townships are not disappearing, but the townships are also giving into the system. What is your plan? How are you going to address the township schools that are severely under-resourced, that continue to perpetuate this nonsense of the boy child falling behind? They continue to perpetuate violence. If there's knife fights at a township, no one bats an eye anymore. That, okay, kids at a township school have stabbed each other. It's business as usual. We need to engage ministers in this conversation. We need to engage departments. It's not enough that we have charismatic leaders. It's not enough that we say the leader of this political party is charismatic. He's got aura. Aura is going to do nothing for us. Let's engage these policies. Let's bring them and hold them accountable and say, there's 100 days in office. What have you done? Even if it's the Minister of Sanitation, because these things truly matter. All of these things matter. It's time to engage parents in the conversation. Some of us are daughters and we're watching our brothers fall away because our parents are disengaged. It's time to engage the community even in these things. Why are we allowing boy kids, forget adult men, boy kids to be hanging around this spaza shop? Sugani spaza mfunani. Do you understand? It's time to engage NPOs. It's time to engage even companies. A lot of us come from mining towns. I'm from a mining town myself. We have to ask the question, dear mine, what are you doing to reinvest? Stop taking and taking and taking. Invest into this township. What is your plan for investing back into this township that you're taking from? You're taking our copper, you're taking our coal, you're taking our gold, you're taking our silver. If you're in the Northwest, you're taking our platinum. Reinvest. I don't see investments here. Are you investing into the schools? Are you investing into the infrastructure? Are you investing in what's happening? I don't see it. Some of us have 2-3 mines in our towns. Engage these people. Because at the end of the day, we are going to be on our own. Do you understand? And unfortunately, this conversation affects those of us who do not have the money to take kids who have fallen behind in the system to private universities. Rich people can do that. Rich people can take the nearest flight to Switzerland. We cannot. We are stuck with this country. And if we think the boy child problem is going to disappear, it's going to it's going to become the next wave of unemployment, the next wave of crime, the next wave of violent crime. There is not enough prisons to hold the wave that is coming. So let's begin to engage people in power, because I am one person. I'm just raising a conversation. I don't have a solution that I can give you that's a one size fit all. It's a multidisciplinary approach. Let's engage different ministers. Let's start talking about it. Let's engage the SABC. Let's engage so many people in parliament and say, hey, what are you doing there in parliament? Let's see the stats. Let's see what you're doing. Let's engage child psychologists. The humanities faculties have been studying and publishing papers. Where has their research gone? Where have their implementations gone? Have you implemented those things? Let's engage people.